So look, there's been a lot of hullabaloo between traditionally published authors and self-published authors. Okay, I'm a self-published author. I don't go through a traditional publishing house. I invest in myself and I publish my own books. But in a lot of circles, there have been a lot of comments made and a lot of arguing back and forth about one thinking they're better than the other. Mostly traditionally published authors thinking that, well, my shit don't stink because I'm signed to a traditional publishing house, and you self-published peasants, your books aren't really that great anyway. You have AI covers, and the quality of your books isn't that great, yada yada yada. So allow me to break this down so it can forever be broke. First, let's start with the numbers. Around 400,000 to 1 million authors are what you consider traditionally published authors. These are authors that go through Penguin or Random House, or they go through a traditional big publishing company, right? While over 3 million authors are what you consider self-published. So pretty much a majority of what you're going to see in bookstores or wherever you're going to go to buy your books, either online or in a bookstore or retail spots, a good percentage of those authors are going to be self-published. And I know traditionally published people, you can tout that, oh, my book is on Amazon, it's in Barnes and Noble bookstores, it's on Kindle, it's in Walmart, it's in Target. We don't fuck with Target, but okay, cool. And it's in all these retail spaces right now. But as many as you know and don't want to admit, being published doesn't mean being promoted. Now, with the big publishing companies, your superstar authors, for example, your J.K. Rowling's, your Stephen King's, your big tier authors, they're going to get all the money and the resources put behind them, right? They're going to get the billboards, they're going to get the commercials online and in social media and on TV. They're going to get the stand-up cards. They're going to get their own singular displays in Barnes and Noble, the in-store signings. All that stuff is going to be done with your big level authors. And then the rest of you guys, you're going to have your mid-level guys. They're going to get all the retail spaces, right? Again, your Walmarts, your Targets, your Barnes and Nobles. They're going to get into your premier bookstores and online as well, right? So you're going to get those guys. Then the rest of you are, and I hate to say it, are going to get into your discount stores, right? So say you go into a Reese's grocery store, a Publix, a Dollar General, a Family Dollar, and you see their book section. Those guys are published authors. They are with a publishing house, but that's where a lot of your books wind up. And so now you're in this retail space, and therein lies the problem, because if you're in a retail space, those 3, 4, 5 copies that you have on the shelf, if they aren't selling, they're not going to be there long. They're not going to be there long because shelf space is limited. So books are rotating in and out, in and out, in and out, and preference is going to go to your bestseller books. And while bestseller lists make up only a fraction of authors, that traditionally published authors that are out there, they get preference. And again, your mid-level and the other guys, they don't get the promotion. They're not getting the promotion that your higher level authors are getting. So you're not gonna get the shelf space. It's not gonna be a rotation of your books in and out like your bestseller list people. And that presents another problem for you guys, because the machine just isn't behind you. And you gotta understand that most of you guys, your mid-level guys and the other guys, you barely sell 1,000 copies. Don't take my word for it. Look it up. Those guys barely sell 1,000 copies. Not to mention, if you are an author that took an advance, you're not going to make any money until they make their advance back. Now you're locked in financially, because just like the music business or any other business, when you take an advance, it's what you call a recoupable cost. And any recoupable costs have to be, keyword, recouped before you make any money. So what I'm saying is, while it's great, it's some validation in being with a traditionally published house, don't talk shit on us self-published guys, right? And while neither one of us is really out here just killing it, you know, there are huge advantages to being a self-published author. First thing, self-published authors see more royalties per book because we didn't take an advance. So other than whatever administrative costs go with Kindle or Amazon or Barnes and Noble or whatever platform that we have them on, it's pure profit for us. Second thing, and the biggest thing for me, is ownership. We have ownership of our books, right? So if I'm gonna break bread with Warner Brothers or a film studio or a streaming service or anything like that, they're breaking bread with me, right? And they're gonna have to pay me this money, while your publishing company has, you know, some of the rights to your book. You know what I'm saying? I retain the rights to my book. It's my content, and so I retain the rights to it fully. And so I can negotiate better, and I have better leverage as a self-published author, unfortunately, than a traditionally published author would. Next thing, while some of you see that as a curse, it's a blessing for us, is that we have a direct relationship with our readers, right? But the thing that most of you think is a drawback is that we have to engage with our readers. So every single day, we are that hurt. We're engaging with our readers. And that helps us with our sales because they have a direct relationship with us as the author. Most of you guys with traditionally published publishers, you guys are relying on the machine. We are the machine. The self-published author, we're the machine. We're the marketer. We're the promotion. We're the art person. We wear most of all the hats. We do the ads. We do the commercials. We do everything ourselves. And again, we have that direct line to the customer, so they get to know us not only as the author but as a person, which also helps us build sales. So stop talking shit on us, man. You know, yeah, we're self-published authors. Yeah, a lot of self-published authors, yeah, you can make the argument that the quality probably isn't there with a lot of these guys. A lot of these guys are new. They're just getting started being self-published authors, but they're hardworking people just like you are. And they're trying to get their content out there just like you are. And so don't make fun of them and don't talk down on them, because they're actually putting in a lot of work to get their book in the hands of readers. And above all, and I say all this to say, y'all buy my book, Love Bites, available where all books are sold. Thanks.